In this session, we discuss about the blood and its function. Blood is a special connective tissue. When blood is centrifuged and kept aside, there will be two different layers. The dark red layer has blood cells or corpuscles, and pale yellow layer contains the plasma. It is a red color homogeneous fluid. About 45% of it is made of solid particles held in suspension. The remaining 55% is a straw-colored fluid called plasma. The solid matter in blood consists of red cells called as red blood cells or erythrocytes, white cells or leukocytes which are colorless, and tiny particles called platelets. Let's study about the blood cells further. Human red blood cells are tiny, biconcave disc-like structures. Even though these are cells, they don't have nuclei. This is one reason to have a lifespan of 4 months or 120 days, after which they are broken down in the spleen and the liver. The absence of nucleus provides a large surface area to absorb more oxygen. Some of their component chemicals, iron, are reused to make new red cells. The new red cells are made in the bone marrow, particularly at the end of the long arm and leg bones, in the ribs and in the vertebrae. More than 2 million red cells are destroyed and replaced every second in the human body. In the red blood cells cytoplasm, the red pigment called hemoglobin is found, which is a protein combined with iron. Hemoglobin enables blood to transport large quantities of oxygen from the lungs to the body tissues. Hemoglobin reacts with oxygen to form an unstable substance called oxyhemoglobin. When the cells need oxygen, this oxyhemoglobin breaks down and releases the oxygen, which diffuses into the cells and is used in respiration. There are about 5 million red blood cells in 1 cubic millimeter of human blood. Next, we will discuss about the white blood cells or leukocytes. White blood cells are larger than the size of red blood cells, but smaller in number. There is 1 white blood cell to every 600 red cells, and they are made in the same bone marrow that makes the red cells. These cells have nuclei. There are 2 types of white blood cells: granulocytes and non-granulocytes. About 75% of white blood cells have large lobed nuclei and are irregularly shaped. They have tiny granules in their cytoplasm, and because of this, they are called as granulocytes. And there are 3 types of granulocytes: neutrophils, eosinophils, and basophils. The remaining 25% of leukocytes are round shaped, have very large round nuclei, and a thin layer of cytoplasm without granules. These are called as non-granulocytes or agranulocytes. Non-granulocytes are divided into two: lymphocytes and monocytes. 1 cubic millimeters of human blood contains 4,000 to 11,000 white blood cells. Let's look at the functions of white blood cells. White blood cells destroy infectious particles that enter the body by a process called phagocytosis. They engulf the bacteria or germs and swallow them. So, the percentage of white blood cells increase during microbial infections. The white blood cells gather in wounds and destroy bacteria before they can enter the body. They have the ability to leave the blood vessels and can reach infected areas anywhere in the body. Especially granulocytes are phagocytic, which means cell eater. The second function is producing chemicals called antibodies, which help to prevent diseases. Irregularly shaped fragments of cells are called as platelets. They have no nuclei. They are originated in the bone marrow. 1 cubic millimeters of blood contains 150,000 to 400,000 platelets. Its lifespan is about 5 to 7 days. Platelets play an important part in the system which causes blood to clot in wounds. It contains thromboplastin that helps in coagulation of blood. Platelet count drops due to diseases like dengue and leptospirosis. The liquid part of the blood is plasma, which contains 92% water and other important dissolved substances. Protein is the second most abundant compound in plasma. Nutrients, nitrogenous wastes, hormones, enzymes, gases, and ions are present in the blood plasma. Now we will discuss the overall functions of blood. Transportation of materials such as digested end products, respiratory gases, excretory byproducts, hormones, mineral ions, and proteins. Blood protects the body against pathogens by phagocytosis and by producing antibodies. Maintenance of chemical coordination and homeostasis among tissues and organs. The liver and kidneys keep the composition of the plasma more or less constant. The next one is helping in blood clotting. Thank you.